Good morning student. Today we see about variation. Sexual reproduction which involves meiosis helps in recombination of genes during gametic fusion. That means sperm and ovum fuse to form zygote. This is called gametic fusion. In meiosis it is a reduction division. Okay. This leads to differences in phenotypic of the offspring. Phenotypic is external expression of plants or animals. Okay. Offspring from its parents. These differences are called variation. Variation is the difference found among individuals of the same species and the offspring of the same parent. Variation is the raw material which plays an important role in evolution. Okay. Evolution would not be possible without variation. Then variation is two types. There are two types of variation. One is somatic variation and another one is germinal variation. The germinal variation is further classified into two types. One is continuous variation and another one is discontinuous variation. Okay. Discontinuous variation form the basis for mutation theory proposed by De Vries. You see variation, sexual reproduction which meiosis helps in the recombination of genes during gametic fusion. The next is variation is the raw material which plays an important role in evolution. Then next, types of variation. Somatic variation. These are the variations which affect the body cells of the organism. They are not heritable. They occur due to environmental factors. Not heritable means nothing but the character is not transmitted to offspring or young ones. Then next is germinal variation. These variations are produced in germ cells of an organism. Germ cells is sperm and ovum or egg. They are inherited. They may be present in ancestors or may occur suddenly. They are classified into two types. One is continuous variation and another one is discontinuous variation. In continuous variation, these are small variations which occur among individuals of population. They are also called fluctuating variation, that is changing. Okay. They occur by gradual accumulation in a population. Then example, skin color, height and weight of an individual, then color of eye, etc. Discontinuous variation. These are sudden change in which occur in an organism due to mutations. They do not have any intermediate forms. Okay, no intermediate forms. These large variations are not useful for evolution. Example, short-legged acorn sheep, 6 or more digits in humans, etc. Discontinuous variation form the basis for mutation theory proposed by De Vries. Okay. Next is paleobotany. It is derived from Greek word paleon, that means old, and botany, the study of plants. It is the branch of paleontology. Paleontology is study of fossil that deals with recovery and identification of plant remains of geological past. A plant fossil is any preserved part, whatever the parts is preserved, of plant that has died long back. Okay. Fossil may be prehistoric impression that may be 100 to millions of years old. That's very important. Then majority of plant fossils are disarticulated parts of the plant. That means small parts or small pieces of parts only we get it. It is rare to find plants to be preserved as a whole. Not getting whole plants we are not getting. That's very important. Next, importance of fossil. They throw light on phylogeny and evolution of plants, how the plants is developed. Then fossil plants give a historical approach to plant kingdom, how the plant kingdom is developed. Then fossils are useful in classification of plants, how the plants are classified. Is it bacteria, monera, okay, protista, then bryophyta, then pteridophyta, gymnosperm, angiosperm, like that, how it is classified. It is useful to fossil. Okay, fossil plant can be used in the field of descriptive and comparative anatomy. It is very useful for descriptive and comparative anatomy. Caspar Maria von Sternberg is the father of paleobotany, 1761 to 1838. He was born in Europe. He established the Bohemian National Museum in Prague and is deemed to be the founder of a modern paleobotany. Okay, he is the founder of the modern paleobotany. And Birbal Sahni is the father of Indian paleobotany. He presented his research on two different areas of paleobotany. One is the anatomy and morphology of Paleozoic ferns, and another one is the fossil plants of the Indian Gondwana formation. Indian Gondwana is a plant, how it is formed. That research is analyzed. Then Paleozoic ferns, it is a type of plant that should be researched. Okay, these two be reserved by Birbal Sahni. Okay, do you understand, student? Okay, that's all. Thank you.